Hello and welcome to Angry Andy Reviews, and this is finally my review for Dune Part 2.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
Angry Andy. Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews. Angry Andy Reviews.
Don't make me destroy you.
Dune Part 2. So, where do we begin with this epic? How do we explain this epic? Well, quite simply, it follows the continuing journey, the continuing warpath of Paul Atreides as he unites with the Fremen and Chani to initiate galactic revenge against those conspirators that destroyed his family. Quite simply, it is an epic of classic proportions. I'm thinking the kind of epics we used to see with Lawrence of Arabia and the like. Just it's sprawling epic of gargantuan proportions. The cast is superb throughout. The visual effects are constantly stunning. They don't overbear the plot, which is obviously a curse with a lot of modern films recently, where the visual effects are just in your face and far too much, and there's no plot to it. But this film is exceedingly well written. It's exceedingly well crafted. The narrative is it's superb. You're drawn into this world and you feel every single moment. You believe every single moment. It's a product of every single person completely on top of their game. No more so than Denis Villeneuve. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right, because he is just a fantastic director, an incredible director. A really understated sci-fi director. When you think about his films over the last 10 years, you have Arrival, you have Blade Runner, you've got Dune Part 1. They got an incredible back catalogue of epic sci-fi movies, and this is no different. This is a inch-perfect film from the get-go. It knows what it's doing, it knows what it wants to say, and it knows how to play its characters absolutely perfectly. And like I said, the cast is just inch perfect throughout. We have new joiners. We have bloody Christopher Walken, of all people. I had no idea he was going to pop up in this film. We've got Florence Pugh and of course Austin Butler. But there we go. It's an absolutely perfect film that is just filled to the brim with lore and mystery, and I can't begin to explain fully everything that happens in this film, because the plot threads are that intricate and that winding and that expansive and expressive. There is so much going on here, so much that you can grip your teeth into and really taste. It's delightful and it's refreshing that we have an epic blockbuster of this proportion, of this quality, sci-fi as well, that does not compromise on any single aspect of what is a very, very intricate lore, very well loved and respected lore. And I don't know the ins and outs of Dune. I don't know what they've cut, what they've missed out, what they've moved, what they've come away from. But from my perspective, looking at it, it is a great film. So, yeah, I don't really know what more to say, really. The only thing I can say is that you should watch this film on the biggest screen possible. I got quite lucky, was able to do so, but this is just a perfect movie, absolutely perfect to watch on the big screen, and sci-fi of this quality needs to be enjoyed in that respect. To be fair, the only thing I would suggest is that the characters do seem to be set on a singular path, as it were. I'm wondering, with the expansion of what happens at the end, I mean, by the Lord, I hope we get a part 3.
Cause let's face it, baby, these days, you gotta have a sequel. Ah! Ah!
I mean, has that been mentioned? I don't even know. I've not checked it out. I've literally just come away from the film. But I wonder where these journeys are going. And I hope we do see more. But obviously the quality needs to be there. The quantity needs to be there. The impetus from everybody involved needs to be there to create a part 3, if that's what's going to happen. It's a truly mind-boggling film, and I'm struggling to explain more without spoilers, to be quite honest with you. There is some truly exceptional moments in this film. The score is just impactful and weighty throughout the film, really hits home some of those more incredible, mind-blowing moments. The effects, as I mentioned, are outstanding. There is no compromise on them at all. And it's huge without being bombastic, if that makes sense. I'm thinking when I'm thinking bombastic, I'm thinking, Transformers. And the action set pieces are huge, but again they're controlled and mannered and used so sparingly that the impact is humongous. It's incredible. It was hard to really think of the first part, being surpassed, but this film absolutely surpasses the original, the first part, Dune Part 1. Absolutely surpasses it. It's engrossing purely in its complexity. That's the only thing I can say regarding it. This is a film that you will probably have to watch maybe 2-3 times in order to fully understand everything that's going on. And I'm going to have to do the same. I am not a law scholar on Dune at all. I've never read the books. Obviously, I watched the 80s film for what it's worth, and obviously I vastly enjoyed Dune Part 1, but this is a film for me where I will have to watch it again just to fully appreciate everything that's going on, the intricacies, the character work in, even the relationships between some of the characters is so intense and so wide-reaching. It's mind-blowing, to be honest with you. I don't really know what else to say apart from just being absolutely gushing about how beautiful this film looks in its darkness, in its oppressive atmosphere. It's oh God, I'm lost for words, to be honest with you. I'm lost for words. What's really going to be interesting for me is to see how this sits in terms of the greatest sci-fi ever. I wonder if it's the intricacies of the ambushes, the rituals, the prophecies, all the maddening imagery, and the hopes and fears of all these characters. What's going to happen? I wonder how much for a general audience this will sit with. How they'll be able to embrace it fully. I'm hesitant to say it's the great epic of our time, but I think it could be in much the same way that Lord of the Rings was. People were able to jump on that film and embrace it for what it was without having been fully versed in the books. And I'm hoping and I'm wondering if that would be the case for Dune as a whole. But do we need to get a third film in order for that to happen? Potentially, I think we do, and I hope we do, but only in the right circumstances, and that's the key. It has to be the right circumstances. So I'm going to stop gushing because I don't feel like I've really reviewed this film properly at all. Like I said, I am hesitant to really go into any sort of plot development because the intricacies of it are just insane. I worry that it might spoil things for some people, but nevertheless, this is a really, really great film. Really great film. I would advise you all to see it if you haven't already. I'm pretty late to the party. It's been out for 2 weeks, but I am late to the party. But there you go. Dune Part 2. A great film. I'm going to give this film a 9 out of 10. I need to see it again as quickly as possible, and hopefully I will do before it leaves the cinema. If not, then I'll be getting this straight on 4K immediately upon release. So there you go, a 9 out of 10. If you enjoyed this review, please do like and subscribe to the channel for more reviews like this. And thank you very much for watching. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of Dune Part 2. Were its intricacies too much for you? Were you just along for the ride, pretty much like I was? Let me know your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.